Good stuff. Joshua Dillon, welcome to Plan of Action. It's amazing for somebody who's been on Value Add as long as you have that you haven't had this. I discovered this with Tekwe. You guys have been assigning everyone else but yourselves. But here you are to give us your plan of action, your 15 minutes of fame, to let us know your experience on Value Add, to let us know what it's enabled you to be able to do, and to advise why others should join. So Josh, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for that introduction, Uncle Vic. It's an absolute pleasure being here. And to anyone who's watching, perhaps right now, thank you for taking the time to listen to a little bit more of my story. So Josh, in a nutshell, yeah, I would say I'm an entrepreneur, and I've been a part of the Value Add family for about over 2 years now. And it's been a phenomenal experience. I actually put up a post on LinkedIn about this on Thursday. And yeah, just taking some time to reflect on the person who I was before I had started working with Value Add compared to who I am now. The contrast could not be more stark in terms of how I've changed and evolved and grown over the last 2 years. And that's largely due to a few elements that you experience when you're in the Value Add family. So I mentioned earlier that I'm an entrepreneur. So it all started out with being a supplier to Value Add in terms of the website development side of things, and also content creation, content production under the company JD Creations that I founded 4 years ago. And through that journey, it's kind of evolved from me just being a supplier to be more integrated into the family. And I think that's what Value Add is. It's not just about a transaction. And a lot of the time when you look at education institutions, it's very much transactional. You pay the institution money, they sign you up with a student ID, and you become a number in the system. And that's kind of where Value Add differs, because like I mentioned, Value Add is a family. So there's a shared goal amongst everyone within Value Add, and that's to find your purpose, passion, and position, and to use that to kind of uplift South Africa and Africa as a whole. And I think that's something that I prescribe to, and many of the other people in Value Add do. And when you all prescribe to this shared vision, it creates an environment where you can work together, not just on a business level, but also on a more personal level. And that's how I became more integrated into the team, and now function as the Chief Creative Officer of Value Add, while simultaneously running JD Creations as well. So yeah, that's just a little bit on my story in terms of how I became a Value Edian and how much it's impacted me over the last 2 years. So it's been quite a journey, but I'm keen to see where it goes to.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And you say that you've been on some of these courses. Which are the courses that stood out for you?
Definitely business and executive coaching. That's one of my favorite courses to attend. The reason why it's my favorite is because when it comes to getting advice online, like, because as a business owner, let me actually go back to university. So I had one lecturer that out of all the lectures that I had the biggest impact on me. And he had this one saying that was, don't ask me a question unless you've Googled it, right? So the reason why he did that is because he knows the access of information out there, and how it can benefit you. So automatically that instilled that kind of skill in me, where it came to finding information online and using it to answer questions that I had. But the challenge is that when you find information online, that yes, there is a lot of information online, but it's often not specific to your exact problem. So when you're experiencing a challenge, there's often various nuances that are specific to that problem. So when you're finding information that's put online for a general audience, a lot of the time it misses those nuances. And especially being in South Africa and Africa, we have certain nuances that a lot of people that are putting information online don't understand or know about. So when they put out that information, they miss those things. That's why I love the business and executive coaching course, because I can go there with my exact challenge and I can ask a question to Brian, who's the host of that course, and he will give me an answer that is specific to that challenge. And not only that, because there's other people in the group that are also entrepreneurs and also trying to build their careers, they also have various questions that I would have never have thought about that are also specific to our circumstances that we're facing in South Africa. And when they ask those questions, I get just as much of value out of it. And it also opens my mind to things I didn't even think about. So that's why I love the business and executive coaching course. I can go on and on though, Uncle Vic. There's other courses as well. I don't know if you want me to go in depth like that for the other ones.
No, you've picked the Starlight for you, which is fantastic. And yeah, no, I do know that you enjoy that one, and Brian is brilliant. And for anybody who's running a business or anyone in the work organization, it's a highly recommended course for those to attend. There's all sorts of tools that you learn there: how to listen, how to work in teams, how to be strategic, how to troubleshoot. And these are things that technical skills required as a business person and as a person working in an organization that you just never get taught, let alone coached on. So that's fantastic. So what's your advice? How would you then encourage people to come and join this platform that you seem to be not only have created, but enamored about?
For sure. So I'm not too sure if we're still doing the quotes thing, but I do have a quote that I would like to talk on. So my quote that I chose is "Be the change that you want to see in the world" by Mahatma Gandhi. And the reason why I love that quote is because we all have rights as people. We have the right to a good life, right? I believe every single person that comes to this world has the right to live a good life that is fulfilling and that has purpose. But with that right comes a responsibility. And just in the context of what we face in South Africa at the moment, we face many challenges. And there's another saying that we had the privilege of hearing from Andisa from one of the meetings that we were in. And he spoke about how businesses make money solving problems and Africa has no shortage of problems. So we are sitting on one of the greatest opportunities lying in front of us. So when you tie in that responsibility and the opportunity that lies at hand, for me, it starts with us as individuals, because a lot of young people want to make a big change in this world, but you can't just go from where you are to making a big change. It's a lot of the big changes that we see happen over time are a culmination of many, many small steps. And ultimately, those steps start with you, where you are today. So if you're going to take that first step towards the direction where you're headed, you need to make sure that it's right within you. And once you are able to master yourself, shout out to the self-mastery course, it gives you the capability to start filling up your cup, right? And once you fill up that cup to its top, you can start overflowing that cup into the lives of those around you and start filling the cups of those around you. So the reason why I like coming back to the quote, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." If you want to see the world change, you need to change within yourself first. And you need to fill that cup. And once you fill that cup, you can start overflowing it into the cups of those around you. And that's why I love that quote, because it's really inspired me to work on myself. And I think over the last 2 years of being in Value Ed, I started with working on myself. And now I have the privilege of filling my cup to the point where we've managed to build a team that we're working with. And I managed to put myself in situations where I can have chats with young people that are starting out in earlier stages of their businesses as well, and start giving them advice that I've learned. And I wouldn't have been able to do that unless I started with me. And I'm so excited to see where the future goes, because I know that as I can impart this knowledge into other people around me, they will also be able to do the same. And that's where we will start seeing real change in the world, change that we want to see. So yeah, that's kind of my quotes, and that's what I appreciate about being part of the Valued platform, because it's really taught me how to do that.
No, fantastic, fantastic. And you certainly have put a lot of work into that, Josh. I know you have. And as they say, with these seeds of time come the fruits of and harvests of labor. So well done to you for that and the contribution that you've made to Value Ed, not just from your own personal development point of view, but the development of Value Ed and its growth and where it is today. Tell us then, what is your plan of action? What are you doing?
A lot of things. Obviously, there's the stuff that we're working on with Value Ed. There's also the JD Creations mission, which is to connect Africa to the digital economy and the world to Africa. So right now, the way that we do that is through 3 different capabilities. The one is website development. The second one is social media management and strategy. And the third one is content production, which is our niche. We are currently going through a phase of pivoting into AI and automation, because with that technology becoming available, there's a lot of opportunity. And I believe that it can be used as a very powerful tool to achieve our mission of connecting Africa to the digital economy. So we've begun the process of integrating those tools into our workflows. And we also have started experimenting on projects that are going to basically experiment with this technology and find use cases where we can apply it and hopefully offer value to various stakeholders that we work with. So that's the one element of JD Creations. The second element is the Creator Community. So Creator Community was founded with the goal of taking entrepreneurs, business professionals, and creatives and connecting them, cultivating them, and coaching them. And through that, the goal is to build a community of young people who also have this shared vision, but don't necessarily know how to connect themselves to the business world or connect themselves to the content world. There's a lot of creatives that are very good at gaining attention online, but have no idea on how to monetize that attention. And there's a lot of business people who are really great at monetizing, but have no idea how to get attention online. So the purpose of the Creator Community is to connect those people and to coach them in whatever information that they need to succeed. And through doing that, the hope is to create a community that can connect with one another and create opportunities and leverage off of one another to grow the economy of Africa and basically uplift Africa's space in the global playing field using the tools that we have available to us. So that's currently the 2 main projects that I'm working on outside of Value Ed. And then obviously there's the stuff that we're doing in Value Ed with Metropolitan Collective Shapers and various other things that are in the works that I'm not going to speak too much on now, but will come into the forefront over the next few months. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff. And if you're watching this and you want to be a part of it, please find us on LinkedIn to find and follow the journey and just kind of keep up to date with what we're doing and see how you can get involved if that's something that interests you.
Yeah, you sure are busy, which is great because it means that everything you have been learning, you're putting into effect, which is what we want at Value Ed. So we salute you and we say, Josh, stick on the path. It's not an easy one. It's going to have a lot of windy ups and downs and water traverses and mountains to climb and valleys to go through. But if you stick on the path, it'll take you to the promised land. So well done. Keep going, and wishing you all the best for the future.
Yeah, and let me just take a moment to thank you, Uncle Vic. I know I sent you a message the other day, but I think it's also important to thank you on a public platform. So thank you for all the time, because I think about it often. I'm in awe of how much you've committed to this vision and this purpose. And without that commitment, number one, seeing that commitment is really inspiring and has also really held me accountable in my journey. Because when I look at what I'm doing and I see the kind of level of commitment you've put into Value Ed and how it's grown over the last 2 years, I see what's required. So it's really instilled a sense of accountability on my side, where I aspire to be as committed on the journey that I'm on. And you've really taught me how to do that just through your actions, not even trying to teach me, but just observing and seeing your actions, seeing how on a Sunday afternoon, you're thinking about these things and you're strategizing on a consistent basis. All of those things get seen, and it's very valuable to all of the people that have the opportunity to see that. And also the amount of things that you've sacrificed for this. I do believe that it's going to be worth it in the end, just needs a little bit more time. But I know how much you've sacrificed to give us an opportunity, and it's only been 2 years, but the amount of impact that it's had just on my life is immense. And I can tell you now it's going to be exponential, because all these things we take with us, and there's a lot of time ahead of us. So that impact is going to just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And you've definitely left a legacy. And as it grows, the legacy will be even greater. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to you, Uncle Vic, for all that you've done to make this happen.
Thank you, Josh. Very, very kind words. Thank you very much. They touch me deeply and enable me to keep going too, to believe in the cause that we have. Thank you. And you are a shining example of the kind of South Africans we need for the future. So it's all in good hands, I believe, with you guys. So keep marching forward. Thank you. Have a wonderful Saturday, and we'll see each other again next week.
Onwards and upwards. Thank you, Uncle Vic.
Keep fighting forward. Thanks, Josh. Take it easy.
All right. Cheers, cheers.
Ciao.